Welcome. This is a quick recording on how to construct an incenter and a circumcenter. So this is one of the GeoGebra practices that we've done in class, and there's a version of it also posted in the course. At the very top, we're going to start with the incenter, which is created by making 3 angle bisectors in your triangle. And so where those 3 angle bisectors intersect is your incenter, which means we have to use our angle bisector construction that we've already done and do it 3 times, one on each of the angles of the triangle, to make the construction. And so underneath, if you scroll down, it's the steps that we've had for making an angle bisector. And so as I'm constructing, I'm going to go through these steps 3 times. So I'm not going to keep scrolling up and down while we're in the recording, but they are there and you can. So as you're making your construction, you can take a look at the steps, or you can have them alongside you as you're doing your construction. Right, so I'm going to scroll down and do my incenter. So I'm going to draw a triangle, and then I'm going to go through those steps we were just looking at 3 times around each angle of my triangle. So I'm going to grab my triangle tool and just create a triangle on the page. It doesn't matter what your triangle looks like. Any triangle works. And now I need to bisect each of these angles. So I'm going to bisect angle A first. And as you're going through the recording, just pause it if you need to catch up or if you need to re-see something. I'm also going to go slow so that you may not need to pause it as you're going through. But I need to bisect angle A first. So I need to create a point on one side of the angle. So I'm going to start down here. Then I need to make a circle that has AD as the radius, centered around A. So I'm going to grab my circle compass tool. I'm going to click the radius, which is AD, and then circle around point A. Next, I need to make a point where this circle intersects the other side of angle A. So I'm going to grab my intersect tool and click where that crosses over. And now I have 2 more circles to create. My circles are both going to have DE as the radius. One of them is going to be centered at D, and one will be centered at E. So I'm going to grab my compass tool and make DE my radius and center one circle around D. Do it again. I need DE as my radius, and this time the circle centered around E. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Move it over. And so now where that circle, or those 2 last circles intersect, is where the angle bisector is. I'm going to blow this up even more. So you could use the one down here where those 2 circles are intersecting, but it's hard to see because it's really close to point A and it's kind of cluttered. So I'm going to use this intersection up here. So either one works where those 2 circles are intersecting. I would just choose the one that's easier to see. So I need to make a point where those 2 circles intersect. And now if I connect A to that intersection, that's my angle bisector. So I'm going to grab my line tool. I'm going to connect A to F. So now I've bisected this angle. I'm going to need to do this 2 more times, once around each of the other 2 angles, to get my full construction, or my incenter. Before I do that, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to color code those circles to keep it straight while we're looking at the picture. So to do that, I'm just going to click on each circle and then go over here and click a color. So I'll do blue for the first set here. Okay. So now I'm going to go up to C, so I'm going to make this smaller again. And I need to do the same thing around C. So I need to put a point on one side of the angle, so I'm going to put a point here. I need to make a circle where that is my radius, CG, centered around C. So circle, radius is CG, and center it around C. And I want to put a point where that circle is intersecting the other side of the angle, right? We're working with angle C. So I'm going to use the intersect tool to do that. Sorry. And now I need to do 2 more circles with the radius GH, one centered around G and one centered around H. So grab my circle tool. GH is the radius and center it around G. And GH is the radius centered around H. And this is actually pretty separated, so it's not overlapping, but sometimes all those circles start overlapping each other. So again, the color coding I think really helps. I'm going to do that before I go any further. So I'll make this set orange. So now where these 2 orange circles, the last 2 that we did, intersect, is where I have my angle bisector. So I have the first intersection up here, which is outside of the triangle, and then this one here. So I'm going to use the one inside the triangle just because I think it's going to look nicer and keep things more organized, but either one is going to bisect your angle. So I'm going to make some points. Actually, I really don't have to make the point. I'm just going to go for it with the ray tool. So I'm going to click on C and make sure it goes through where those 2 orange circles are intersecting. And now I have 2 angle bisectors. So I have to do one more time around B. I'm going to grab my point. I need to make a point on one of the sides of angle B. Create a circle with the radius JB this time, centered around B. Make a point where the circle intersects the other side of the angle. And now 2 more circles with radius KJ. So radius KJ centered around J, and radius KJ centered around K. So again, I'm going to take a minute to color code my circles. And now where these pink circles are intersecting is my angle bisector. Again, this one is really cluttered down here. It's hard to see. So I'm going to use the one up here where those 2 circles are intersecting. So I could just go grab my ray tool, start at point B, and make sure it goes through where those 2 circles are intersecting. And that's it. So right here in the middle, I'll put a point on it. That is our incenter, created by 3 angle bisectors. Okay. I'm going to scroll down and do the next one. So that's our incenter. If I scroll down, the next one is a circumcenter created by 3 perpendicular bisectors. These are the steps for making a perpendicular bisector, and actually if I scroll back up, a reminder again that your circumcenter can end up outside of the triangle or inside of the triangle. That's okay, it just depends on the triangle you start with. Once I have my triangle, I'm going to follow the set of steps 3 times to get my 3 perpendicular bisectors on each side of the triangle. So I'm going to pick a side of the triangle, make a circle around each side or end point of the triangle, and where those circles intersect is my perpendicular bisector. Great. So I'm going to scroll down. Again, I'm going to start with a triangle, however you want to make your triangle. And I'm going to start by bisecting the bottom here. So I'm going to bisect side AB. So to do that, I need 2 circles. The radius of the circle is going to be the side of the triangle AB, and then 1 circle around B, 1 circle around A. So grab my circle compass tool. BA is my radius, and I'm going to keep 1 circle there around A. And then do it again. BA my radius, and this time circle centered around B. I'm going to take the time to color these as well. I think it's extremely helpful to see once we get a million circles in our picture. And we need to create a point where these circles intersect, both top and bottom. So I'm going to have an intersect here and an intersect here. And when I connect those, that's going to be my perpendicular bisector. So here's my line. I'm going to connect D and E. And there we go. It's perpendicular bisector of side AB. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, and we're going to have to do that 2 more times. Okay, so this time I'm going to go side BC. So again, 2 circles around each of those endpoints of the side with the same radius, BC. So compass circle tool, BC is my radius, centered around B. And again, BC, my radius, centered around C. I'm going to make those circles a color so I can keep them situated and straight. And now this time where the orange circles are intersecting is where my perpendicular bisector is going to be. So I'm going to create a point where each of those orange circles are bisecting and then connect them. So again, the picture's already getting pretty cluttered. And so the colors are really helpful. So I'm going to connect those 2 points. So I have one more perpendicular bisector to make. I already did one for side AB. I just did one for side BD or BC. And now I need to make one more on side CA. So you need to make a perpendicular bisector on each side. So again, 2 more circles centered around A and C with the same radius. So radius, CA, centered around A. And again, CA, centered around C. I'm going to change those colors. These 2 circles are really close together. So again, the colors that we're looking for the pink circles. And so I need a point where the pink circles are intersecting. So it looks like it's right here and right here. So again, if I didn't have those colors, I would have a really hard time figuring out which circle goes where. So I would take the time to color the circles so you could keep them straight. And now if I connect those 2 points, I have my 3rd perpendicular bisector, and where they intersect in the center here is my circumcenter. And that's it. So again, this is posted in the course. You could use this recording to help you through and practice, and if you need any help or have any questions, just let me know.